and it's the case of Rebecca Park. And these details that I'm about to share with you, I feel like it kind of complicates this story quite a bit, almost to a point of it feeling unreal. So, as a reminder, if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen. It's going to give you the full context. But as a reminder, Rebecca Park was found horrifically murdered, her body dumped in the woods, and her baby cut out of her. Initially, her sister and her fiance were arrested on charges unrelated to her murder, but then were later released. They were on like drug charges and then obstruction charges and things like that. But then her biological mother and her stepfather were arrested and actually charged with Rebecca's murder and with taking the baby out of her body. But here's where it gets really, really interesting, because now the updates that are coming out center all around Rebecca's sister, Kimberly. And you may remember we talked about her early on for those obstruction charges, but investigators now also are confirming that she too was having an affair with Rebecca's fiance. So according to newly filed court documents, Kimberly was taken into custody and she was, as I said, charged with tampering with evidence, lying to police, and filing a false report. After that, she agreed to speak with the detectives and she waived her Miranda rights. And what she allegedly told the investigators, I have to say, is pretty shocking, because Kimberly told investigators that she lied to the police, not to protect herself, but to protect Rebecca's fiance, Richard. According to the probable cause affidavit, Kimberly said that on November 4th, while she was at Richard's home, he allegedly admitted to her that he killed Rebecca. Investigators also say that Kimberly told them that Richard admitted that something apparently went wrong while he allegedly was trying to cut the baby out of Rebecca, which is obviously absolutely horrifying for a multitude of reasons. But this wasn't the first time that Kimberly hinted at something like this with the detectives. Earlier that same day, before she was in custody, she had also told the deputies that Richard had said Rebecca had been, quote, taken care of, and then he told her not to worry about it. So already, there were red flags everywhere, but here's where it gets even messier. According to the affidavit, Kimberly admitted that Richard told her to lie to the investigators because he was worried that this investigation was getting way too close to him. And the lie that she told to protect him? It was a huge one. Kimberly had previously told the police that Rebecca's biological mother, Courtney, and her stepfather, Bradley, were the ones responsible, claiming they struck Rebecca in the head, caused her to have a seizure, couldn't revive her, so then they called a friend to come and remove Rebecca's body. But investigators now are saying that Kimberly admitted that that story was completely false, that she only told them that story because Richard told her to say that. And then there's that whole element of them being romantically involved, because during the investigation, she had also admitted that she too was in a romantic relationship with Richard, the same man who was engaged to her pregnant sister, which I don't even know how to process that. Like, that is like betrayal on a whole nother level. But as we also know, it gets a little bit deeper. There's like the trifecta of betrayal, because Kimberly's mom, Courtney, when she was interviewed with the police after her own arrest, she also said she was having an affair with Richard, which, if you see photos of this guy, I don't even know how this is possible. Not to say like that Courtney and Kimberly are like prizes, no offense, not trying to throw any shade, but like how this guy is just sleeping with like Rebecca, her sister, her mom, it's twisted and bizarre. At this point, you've got this pregnant woman who is murdered, her fiance allegedly confessing to her sister that he's the one responsible, the sister then lying to protect him, and both the sister and the mom admitting to romantic relationships with the same man. It's like, what the is going on? And in the deep dive from Tuesday, we talk a little bit too about the charges being, or not the charges being dropped because they weren't dropped, but Richard and Kimberly being released from custody and lowering their bail amounts and all of that. And wondering, will another arrest happen? Is it because they're trying to build a case against them? What were those obstruction charges? I think I had said in my episode too, I think that Kimberly might be connected more, although law enforcement has not said as much at this point, but I don't know. It's wild. And to be clear, these are all allegations that are laid out in court documents, and it is an ongoing investigation. Form your own opinion, do your own research. Everything is alleged. But this update, it really does change how this case looks compared to where we started with this, because if her sister Kimberly is telling the truth now, then that means that the focus is going to shift dramatically.